site visit considerations. This is a huge topic, and this is often what companies have arguments with the sales team and the install team. So if you're on one of those teams, chances are you've had an argument about why was that vent pipe not pointed out? Site visits, site visits, site visits. So sometimes these are done digitally, and there's a lot you can do with like Google Maps and satellite imagery and see these certain things and maybe save some money and time to get a primary design and then go from there, and maybe you do a site visit after an agreement is made. So, but nothing beats being there and seeing what's going on with the roof. Qualifying the roof is one of the most important things to do before installing a PV system. So I often relate this to when you rent a car and you walk around and you determine, point out any pre-existing damage, crack in the windshield, dent in the bumper, scratches that were not your fault. So solar installers often get blamed for things that they didn't do. So if you're new to the industry, you're on a crew or you're on a sales team, you're gonna want to really have a process that excludes any issues and avoids any problems going forward to hold up the system or maybe cost some more money for things like a re-roof. So we have a kind of generic list, and we'll go over a couple things here of what to look for. So shingles, this is, most shingles can last, and we talked about different shingle types. Some of them last 15 years, some of them last 25 years, some of them might even last up to 50 years. So there's different quality of shingles, and understanding how long those last or when to make the judgment call of doing a re-roof. So if you look at these pictures here, here's some examples of blistering shingles, cracked shingles, ripped shingles. Maybe you have a dislodged shingle coming out. So you want to know this so that if you have to make the decision of re-roofing or not. And if you're yourself a roofer, you can make that determination. Or if you're not, I think it's a good idea to have a working relationship with a roofing company so that when it's a little bit more of a tricky situation, or maybe you need some more professional analysis of the roof, you can have that roofer come in, make that analysis, and maybe it is a re-roof situation. I know if I was a homeowner getting a PV system and one bid said, we're good to go, that's the price, we're gonna install this system tomorrow, and another installer came with a bid and said, I'd love to sell you this system, but we need to do some roof repairs first because you have some issues there. I know I would be happier with the honest truth of this roof needing some repairs. And also your install crew will be much happier knowing that there's no issues with the roof, there's no surprises where you have to move the array around. So checking out the shingles is one thing. Something to note is you could run into maybe a manufacturer defect. So another thing that's really good to do is to look into the history of the roof, asking the homeowner a set of questions. When was the roof built? Who was the roofer? Was a new roof put on since you've owned the home? If so, when was it done? Who was the roofer? Is there a warranty in place? That's the number one thing. You should rule out if there is or there is not a roof warranty. And there's different kinds of warranties for roofs. There's going to be the product warranty of the roof manufacturer, and then there's going to be the roof warranty or the workmanship warranty of the roofer. So the product warranty of the material, that's where maybe you have a manufacturer defect, as I mentioned before, the cracked shingles. Sometimes there's a chemical imbalance, maybe there's a bad batch, something didn't jive right with the roofing material and it starts to crack, corrode faster than it was intended to. There might be a recall, and you can get that roof replaced and have that product replaced and the warranty is intact. That's ideal. Obviously the warranty may not be intact at all, or maybe you just cannot find the information. Sometimes the building department has a good record of maybe an add-on or some construction that happened on the home, that they have that documented and maybe who the contractor was. So again, digging into the history of the roof, doing the site visit to make sure the shingles are in good condition, and then also whoever's doing the site visit may not want to hear this, but getting into the attic, if there's an attic space, and just checking out the condition of the truss system. You could see there's a cracked rafter. My guess is maybe the homeowner put up their Christmas lights, jumped down, landed on a rafter and cracked it. That's going to cause issues if you're going into the rafter with the big 5/16 lag screw, or looking at maybe potential water damage. If you see stains maybe looking at the chimneys or a skylight or a vent, like in this case, you could see some water stains there. That's a little bit of a red flag, but that could have been fixed. It could have been some damage. The roofer came in and fixed that. So you just want to get some history on the system and looking at the condition of the shingles, condition of the trusses and the rafters, and maybe the condition of the plywood. And that's going to determine what products might be best to install. Maybe the rafters end and they start to go east to west instead of north south, and you might want to do a deck attachment system out there so you still get the array of the full size of the roof, or maybe a rafter connection product is best for you. So here's kind of a list of some key things that we've talked about that you can use as a basis to make your own list, to do your own site visits based on your region and some of your common problems you've seen, and that list can improve over time. And talk to your sales team and your install team and make sure that everybody's speaking the same language and making that list to be, that checklist to be ideal so that no issues arise in your installation.